You're listening to BambinoBabble's story. Once upon a time, in a lush and vibrant forest, there lived a mischievous spider named Anansi. Anansi was known for his cleverness and cunning ways. He was always on the lookout for new adventures and opportunities to trick others. One sunny day, as Anansi was exploring the forest, he stumbled upon a moss-covered rock. The rock seemed ordinary at first, but Anansi's curiosity got the better of him. He wondered if there was something special about it. With a mischievous grin on his face, Anansi decided to play a trick on his animal friends. He lay down beside the moss-covered rock, pretending to be lifeless. Anansi knew that the forest creatures would be curious about him and the rock. Soon, a curious squirrel approached, sniffing the air cautiously. It saw Anansi lying motionless and the moss-covered rock nearby. The squirrel's eyes widened with curiosity as it hopped closer to investigate. Anansi remained perfectly still, waiting for the perfect moment to spring his trap. Just as the squirrel reached the rock, Anansi leaped up and shouted, "Beware! This moss-covered rock is no ordinary rock. It has magical powers." Startled, the squirrel jumped back and asked, "Magical powers? What kind of powers?" Anansi, with a mischievous twinkle in his eyes, replied, "Why, this rock has the power to grant wishes. But only those who whisper their wish into its mossy surface will have their desires fulfilled." The squirrel's eyes widened with excitement. It had always dreamed of having the biggest acorn stash in the forest. Eagerly, it approached the moss-covered rock and whispered its wish for endless acorns. To the squirrel's astonishment, as soon as it finished whispering, a heap of acorns appeared before its eyes. Overwhelmed with joy, the squirrel thanked Anansi and scampered away with its newfound treasure. Amused by his own trickery, Anansi continued his playful game with the moss-covered rock. One by one, different animals came, made their wishes, and received their heart's desires. The news of the magical rock spread throughout the forest like wildfire. Soon, a wise old owl named Hooty heard about the moss-covered rock and its supposed magical powers. Being wise and skeptical, Hooty decided to investigate the truth behind the rumors. As Hooty approached the rock, Anansi, hiding nearby, watched with anticipation. The owl examined the mossy surface carefully, not saying a word. Anansi's trickery was about to be revealed. After a few moments, Hooty turned to Anansi and said, "Dear Spider, I see through your ruse. This rock may be covered in moss, but it possesses no magical powers." Anansi's grin faded, and he felt a pang of embarrassment. Hooty had seen through his cunning plan. But, Hooty continued, "That doesn't mean the rock is without value. The moss that covers it is a precious gift from nature. It provides shelter and nourishment to small creatures and adds beauty to the forest. That, in itself, is something magical." Anansi felt a mix of relief and admiration for Hooty's wisdom. He realized that true magic didn't lie in tricks or illusions but in the wonders of nature and the kindness we show to one another. From that day forward, Anansi learned to appreciate the simple beauty of the moss-covered rock. He stopped his mischievous tricks and instead focused on helping his friends and making the forest a better place. The animals of the forest, now aware of Anansi's change of heart, forgave him for his tricks and embraced him as a loyal friend. Anansi, grateful for their forgiveness, dedicated himself to being helpful and kind to everyone he encountered. One day, as Anansi was exploring the forest, he came across a small family of mice who were in distress. Their cozy home had been destroyed by a storm, and they had nowhere to seek shelter. Anansi, remembering the lessons he had learned, felt a surge of empathy for the mice. He offered them his help and led them to the moss-covered rock. This moss-covered rock may not have magical powers, Anansi explained, but it provides warmth and protection to those who seek refuge beneath it. The mice, grateful for Anansi's assistance, scurried beneath the rock and found comfort and safety in its embrace. Anansi realized that he had found a new purpose, to help those in need and be a source of comfort for others. Word of Anansi's kindness and his moss-covered rock spread throughout the forest, and animals from far and wide came to seek his assistance. Anansi became known as the caring spider who could provide shelter and solace to those in need. The moss-covered rock became a gathering place, a symbol of unity and compassion in the forest. Animals would come together under its protective cover, sharing stories, laughter, and support. Anansi had learned that true magic lies not in trickery, but in the power of love, kindness, and unity. He had found his own place in the forest, not as a prankster, but as a friend and helper to all. As the seasons passed, the moss-covered rock stood tall, a testament to the bonds forged through compassion and understanding. Anansi continued to be a guiding light in the forest, inspiring others to lend a helping hand and to see the beauty in the simplest of things. And so, in the heart of the vibrant forest, Anansi and the moss-covered rock became a beacon of hope and a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can create a world filled with love and harmony. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a gentle glow over the forest, the animals nestled in their homes, their hearts filled with gratitude for the lessons they had learned from Anansi and the moss-covered rock. And as they closed their eyes, they knew that with every new day, they had the power to make the world a brighter and more compassionate place, just like Anansi and his beloved moss-covered rock. And so, they drifted off to sleep, their dreams filled with visions of a forest where kindness and friendship flourished, guided by the wisdom of an extraordinary spider named Anansi.